Shut up and sit down.
Hello, and welcome to Pardon Me, Alex. We are a few minutes late, and that's my bad. Well, technically not really my bad. I left work plenty of time, but there was crazy construction on the way home, which I did not account for. Normally not there. So, yeah, here we are. But we will try to get through the double dub episode as quickly as possibly. That way you can carry on with your evening. And so can I, and so can Jacqueline. So here we are. I hope everyone's been having a great week. It's a little bit of midweek Wednesday basketball talk. And we're excited to talk about 2 wins.
Very excited.
Very excited.
So first game, Saturday, January 10th versus Houston Christian. I still can't get used to saying Houston Christian instead of Houston Baptist.
Right, same.
Anyway, oh yes, for everyone asking, Alex missed this game. We do miss every once in a blue moon.
Don't worry.
Laura and I were there to hold down the fort, and Mama Tess joined us in the front row the second half. So here is the game down. History and background info going into this game. We had 16 wins and 3 losses in our previous matchup versus Houston Christian. Last matchup, not a good day. We lost in Houston 72-56. That was in February of 25. Pardon me, Alex +1 was there for that beat down because there's no other word for it.
Yeah, that was really bad. I don't think we've ever had that big of a beatdown by Houston Baptist or Houston Christian, regardless of what their name was.
No, if someone right now is doing a podcast for them and they're going over the largest margin of victory, that's it. I guarantee.
Oh, for sure.
Anyway, largest margin of victory for us was 87-47 in 2005. So at least we win on that. Smallest margin of victory was 79-77 in 2018. For general game notes, same starters y'all have been hearing about the whole season: Keon, Cece, Cam, Gerald, and Latif. We did win 85-67. The attendance was 1,624. On to Sean Kennedy's stats. Field goal percentage was 47.1%. 3-point was 34.4%. Free throw 83.3%. We'll get back to that. That's nice. Tess says, but Knack Nanny took her place. Thanks for letting me join the VIP section. Anytime, Tess.
Anytime. Yes. I did note, little side note caveat, and then you get back to the stats. I was watching the game from afar. Obviously, I was in Dallas. It's not obvious. Obviously, not everybody in here knows where I go and what I do with my life. But I was in Dallas for the night, and I was watching on my phone because we weren't anywhere with a TV that I could turn the game on anyway. And watched the first half, then went and got dressed and stuff and took a shower during halftime, and then turned the game back on for second half. And I looked really closely. I was like, is that my mother down there in the first row? And I was like, oh, she done wiggled her way down there, which I thought, I knew she said she may do that. So I wasn't sure. I was like, but if you do, Jacqueline and Laura will help you and take care of you. It's no big deal if you go down there. So, well, she always knows that she's always welcome, but the stairs are not her friend.
I even told her, I said, text me if you decide you want to come down and I'll come up and walk you down. But she made her own way down there, I guess.
Making her way down is not the issue. It's making her way back up. That takes a little bit of time. So anyway, but yes, thank you to Jackson and El Mac for the assistance on Saturday and helping with Dad's machinery got to figure out a more back-friendly solution to that, which I'll work on that before next season. But anyway, here we are.
All good.
All good.
Don't mind. Okay. Not a big deal for us to unload it. So yeah, we'll talk more about the free throws. In the paint, 38, points off turnovers, 21, second chance points, 16, fast break points, 8, bench points, 34. I've been adding this in lately of how many times the score was tied and how many times the lead changed. This time it was 0 on both. We were just ahead the whole time. Total rebounds, 37, 18 offensive, 19 defensive. 13 fouls. We only had 6 turnovers. They had 14. We had 9 steals, 3 blocks, and 20 assists, which is a new one I've been adding in there. Game leaders, and we had a lot of them. We had Keon at the top of the scoreboard with 16 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Latif with 14 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Narit also with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Yeti with 10 points, 1 rebound, and 2 steals. Cam with 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. And CC with 8 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal.
Listen, if you haven't guessed who my player of the game is going to be just based on previous discussions and talks, then you don't know me very well. So I know Jacqueline already has hers written in her notes because she does the notes for us. I do all the technical stuff and Jacqueline does all the note stuff because she's better at that than I am. Anyway, so she always writes her player of the game in and I never do because I never get – anyway, I just go off of vibes. So my player of the game is obviously Yeti. I'm sorry. I have to give it to my boy. Obviously, Teef and Keon and Rit, they're always going to be up there and I'm not going to, diminish their contribution to the game and to the team ever. But Yeti, with his 10 points, he got double digits, and I'm so happy for him. I feel like, again, we've been waiting, and that Saturday game, he played amazing. And then, obviously, on Monday night, he also played so well. So he's just getting better and better. And so I'm pleased as punch for our boy Yeti.
I agree. And I'm glad that you chose him. I kind of figured that you would.
Yeah. You know me.
But he really has been improving every single game. And I'll say even, which we'll get there in a second, but after Monday night's game, Dad even complimented that he's getting stronger and stronger. And those of you who know Richard Parton, he does not just hand out compliments willy-nilly and whatever I'm trying to say, unprompted. So
he's not going to just give out compliments or say positive things just for the heck of it. Like someone's really, really got to earn Richard Parton's stamp of approval.
Yeah.
Whereas my mother, she will love somebody forever if they just, give her a hug and, like her posts on Instagram. Yeah.
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 So
hi, Mr. Rocco.
Hey, Matt.
He said, who are these celebrities? You're the celebrity. We are just 2 gals who love and support SFA basketball.
Just doing our best here.
Yeah.
So all the guys played a great Saturday. Not gonna shrug anybody off. But my player of the game, I chose Latif. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. And he just played great and was very consistent. We also have Keon leading the way with the points. Narit, which I'll tell this story because I told him, and it's not anything bad. It's just funny. But at halftime of the game Saturday, I was up at the top chatting with my parents for a second, and Narit's parents were walking around the concourse. And so I waved them over to introduce them to my parents. And my dad launches into telling them how much we've loved watching Narit play and what a great shooter he is and blah, blah, blah. And Narit's mom's like, well, he's not really hitting them today. Then Narit comes out second half and makes 3 3-pointers, almost 3 consecutive possessions in a row. So I told him after the game, I was like, I guess your mom's just gonna have to be on your case at halftime, and then you come out hot. But anyway, so that was cool.
It works.
Really glad my dad finally got to meet them. And any of y'all who know, my dad's it takes him quite a minute to warm up, and he's definitely not going to be the one to ever initiate like meeting any of the players because he's like so afraid he's imposing on their time or whatever. But once he does, the flood of questions will never stop. And so sure enough, we got home and he's like, oh, they were just so nice and blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, I would love to know how many shots he takes a day because I just know he just does not walk in practice to shoot like that for that kind of form and, touch and everything. He's like, I know he's probably shooting close to 500 shots a day. I would just love to know. I'm like, well, I'm sure they would be happy to answer that question for you. I will grab them on Monday night. So Monday night at halftime, I'm like, oh, I got to get up and see if they're walking around to Crabner's dad for dad to talk to. And I look up there and they're already talking. So
literally, yeah. We turn around. She goes, oh, I need to go look. And I literally was like, girl, I was like, your dad's already snagged him and he's already yakking his ear off. So, you're right. Very funny because your dad just doesn't just chat to anybody. And he's very like introverted and soft spoken. Unless he's with someone he's really, really, really comfortable with. I mean, I've known him for years. And I mean, the most I get out of him is, hey, Alex, how you doing? And I mean, and that's just in passing, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's funny. Whereas your mom, I mean, she'll talk to a brick wall.
Talk off anybody.
Yeah, your mom and my mom are very similar. Like they'll just talk to anybody, man.
So yeah, Narit, great game. Yeti, spectacular game, getting better every day. Cam had a great game, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals.
3 steals is big. I love that.
And Cece was real close to a double-double with the 8.6 rebounds and also had 4 assists. So great show all the way around.
The fact that we can have, 4 guys in double digits and then have 2 guys basically right on their heels in terms of points. And then just, absolutely spreading the love across the leaderboard. You didn't put Gerald's stats on there. Were they even worth putting on, or normally you do?
Yeah, they weren't as spectacular as normal, but I'll say them. They're good. They're not as spectacular as normal, I guess. Like I said, he had 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks.
Okay.
Good on the blocks. All right on the points.
Yeah, you know what? Listen.
Rebounds, but.
Yeah, like, listen, 2 blocks ain't nothing. That's nothing to sniff about. You know what I mean? Like, that's nothing to ignore. Anybody having 2 blocks in the game is pretty darn good.
Agreed. All right, we'll move right on.
Here we go. Now mom's jealous because she wants to meet Rit's parents.
Tess, I'll be happy to introduce you to them anytime. They're at pretty much every single game, as are Bryson's parents, and you would love to meet them too. So you just let us know and we'll introduce you to whomever.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, because they sit right up at the top. So I mean, we could easily run up there during halftime and just be like, hey, this is my mom. She's obsessed with your son.
Yeah.
Right? In the most platonic way possible, in the most grandma way possible. She is very obsessed. Healthy.
In the most way possible.
So other positives from this game, obviously, like I said, I wasn't there in person. So watching it on my phone isn't ideal, but I was able to, catch a few things. Most of those being, of course, Keon with his points and Teef with his points as well. But from what I could see, I mean, it was a seemingly very, I hate to say a mundane game, but I don't think there was anything super crazy on either end that I saw on my phone. Now, again, there may have been some things that happened in the game that I didn't see because I did tune in a little bit late and I did leave a little early from the end of the game because we were heading out to dinner. So it wasn't super keyed in as much as I would normally be. So I'm going to kind of defer a lot of that to you for this game to give your 2 cents on positives and negatives.
All right. Feats of strength. First off, I love the 83.3% free throws.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah.
At halftime, we were 100% 7 of 7. It's the best start we've gotten all season. Absolutely.
For sure.
Otherwise, everything really was good. Our field goal percentage was good, 47. 3-point percentage was good, 34. We had almost 40 points in the paint.
Right.
We had
the other thing I noticed is this is one of the games that our offensive and defensive rebounds were almost identical, which I love.
I love to see that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only one more defensive board than offensive board is amazing.
And 6 turnovers? What the frick?
Only 6 turnovers. Love it. 20 assists. Love it.
Yeah.
9 steals. 3 blocks. I like it all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't really see anything in the time frame that I was watching the game that I was like, ooh, not great. Could it be better there? And that's why I was like, Jacqueline, if you have anything specific now, now would be the time to discuss that. But you let me know when you're ready to move on.
So to your mom's point about Ack having a great game, so he did make 1 3 and he got 2 rebounds and 6 assists. He was our leader in assists for this game.
Ack, okay, love to see that.
Yeah, 6 assists, so that was awesome. Yeah, I liked really pretty much everything. So I guess time for
okay.
grievances, if we can find any.
It's going to be difficult.
The Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it. You.
All right. Ooh. Sorry, go ahead.
Man, I'm going to have to struggle to find a grievance. This game.
I mean, I think, okay, well, here's mine. Here's mine.
Alex wasn't there.
Well, yeah, I wasn't there. That's my main grievance. So originally we were going out of town this coming weekend for Amanda's birthday, and then things had to be changed up a little bit. And so we were just going to Dallas for one night last weekend, which included me, of course, missing the game. And it's just, sometimes life happens and you have to make decisions and choose. And normally, of course, I would choose, SFA basketball over everything. But when it comes to friends and family, sometimes you just have to say, you know what? Got to do what you got to do. Anyway, and plus we were playing Houston Christian and I wasn't too concerned about it. And I knew obviously Jacqueline and Laura were going to be there yelling their heads off. So I wasn't too worried about it. But I think the only thing is I feel like, again, yes, Cam had 9 points. Great. Love it. I just feel like there's so much more left on the table with him and it just drives me up a wall. And I'm sure people can honestly say the same thing about it too, is like, I just feel like he has so much more offensive capability. And just for some reason, 9 points is great. And I'm not going to be mad about that. I just want more. And that's just me being selfish. Like I want him to be at, 16, 14, 20, 30, 50 points every night. Like that's what I feel like I want from out of him. And that's no knock on him. Like he's going in and doing the best he can and shooting when he has the opportunity to. I just feel like there's so much more he can get, like there's so many.
Well, we've seen in some games. And so it's not that we're like setting some crazy unrealistic expectation. I think his has not been as hot the past few games.
Right.
But so I told him what I thought the issue was Monday night, so we'll see.
And I'll get around to that because I'll tell you what.
I'm just being silly, but we'll get to it.
No, I know, but it's just funny because. Okay, we'll get to that. Okay.
Well, Alex and I are both, as a lot of sports fans are, we're very superstitious about certain things. And there are just certain things I feel like you don't make a complete 180 on during the season. And he's gone from like wearing the sweatband every single game to some games he doesn't wear the sweatband, and then all of a sudden he'll have just like a regular plain old white tee, like just a cotton Hanes out of the package from Walmart white t-shirt under, maybe it's not, that's what it looks like, under his jersey. And I feel like the games that he wears that he does not do as well. And part of my thinking on that is superstition, because he didn't wear that before. But also, just speaking as someone who played basketball myself and was a shooter, I could not play in anything that wasn't 100% sleeveless, because I just felt like so constrained, like I couldn't move my arms the way that I was supposed to. So I don't know if he feels that way, but just a guess.
That's just funny. I love it.
So I told him after Monday night's game, I'm like, you need to drop the t-shirt. Like, I don't think it's working for you.
And it's funny because you said that, and then he came next to me to give the hug, and I literally whispered in his ear, I said, don't listen to her, wear whatever the fuck you want. And he just started laughing. I was like, I just gotta throw in a little bit of like, just gotta mess with him a little bit. I'm like, wear whatever the fuck you want.
He didn't score any on Monday, so it's worth a try.
You're right. And you know what? And I know that, but like, maybe it's the headband and not the shirt.
Maybe. I know I couldn't have anything on my arms. Like, it made me feel like I could not get the range of motion that I needed.
No, I get that too, because like, I know I didn't play basketball in high school, but I was in track and field, mainly the field part. And throwing, I could not be constricted either. Like, I have to have full arm motion in order to like really feel like I have plenty of space to, to throw the shot put in the discus. And if I had anything on that was constrictive in any way, I was like, I feel like I'm not doing what I need to be. You know what I mean? I feel like I am not giving as much as I could if I was I understand your total. I understand the point. I understand
1,000%. And a little bit of that also is just, for me to be silly, because these guys need to know that we're not going to be like, just to give them a little like pep up. It's fine that you went a game and you didn't score. Like, that's not gonna be no big deal. Kind of like downplay it a little bit and just make them feel like it's one game. Like,
it's one game.
On to the next game.
I just know based off of past games that he has so much more offensive capability that he can produce. And so I'm just like, I want him to I just want him to open up, just like I want Yeti to have a, 15-point game and, multiple rebounds and multiple blocks. And I'm just like, I just want that because I can see it simmering below the surface, So that's kind of where my brain is going.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We want all of them to be at their absolute highest potential of what we know they can achieve.
Right.
For everyone,
Correct. Yeah. So back to Saturday. Like we said, I think this was just a very positive game all around. Like, there really wasn't anything that was glaring that stood out. The free throw percentage was great, one of the best of the season. And everybody had, I think, just an easy, well-rounded game. And I also noticed that not all of the bench guys, but a bunch of the bench guys came in towards the end of the game, which is great, giving them more competitive practice in there in the game. So that's love to see that as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Green guys, I feel like that's pretty high for him so far this season.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so anything else negative, positive to say about the game? If not, we can give our word and move on.
Bingo. I don't know what mine is.
Well, I don't either, but I'll go first and I'll just kind of throw one out there. I think so. I'm just going to go with, I know this is going to sound bad coming out, but just ordinary. It was a very ordinary run-of-the-mill game. I love the fact that we won by a commanding, almost, what was it, 20 points ish. It wasn't 20 exactly, but you get the point. Love that ordinary game in terms of having the same score leaders. There really wasn't anything out of the ordinary. So it was, to me, a very ordinary game. Love to see it. Sometimes it's nice just to have an easy dub, no craziness, no nonsense, no down to the wire BS. Sometimes you just need that to like reset, especially after a game that we just kind of lost and unfortunately had to sit through and just take. So it's nice to have a win, and a sort of easy win at that.
I think I'll say calm, yes, because it's nice to have a calm, easy breezy win. Everyone looks good. The stats are great. Everybody gets a little floor. Yay.
Yeah,
Calm.
yay is right. Love it. All right, moving on to game numero dos of the Double Dubs episode on Monday, January 12th. We played Incarnate Word, of course, at home in William R. Johnson. Take it away, Jacqueline.
All right, so going into this game, we had 12 wins and 3 losses in previous matchup versus UIW. The last matchup, we did lose by 2 points, 63-61. That was in San Antonio in January of 25. Largest margin of victory was 84-46 in 2016. Smallest margin of victory was 74-71 in 2019. And now Alex is going to give us our Southland Conference standings.
Yes, I will. Okay, so going and looking back at the Southland Conference standings, couple things have happened. Obviously, one of them being that McNeese beat Nichols. Nichols was the only other team in the Southland that had no losses up until that game. So now there is a lovely 3-way tie at the top of the Southland Conference with McNeese, us, and Nichols. And of course, our loss also being attributed to McNeese games. So thank you very much. But yeah, so that us 3 at the top, then the very next person down is 5-3. So you got 7-1, 7-1, 7-1, then A&M Corpus Christi at 5-3. Lamar and New Orleans at 4-4. Oh, I'm sorry. Lamar, New Orleans, and Northwestern at 4-4. UIW at 3-5. Commerce, and UTRGV at 2-6, as well as Southeastern at 2-6, and then last but not least, HCU coming in dead last at 1-7. So they're basically the complete opposite of what we are, which is, I mean, not funny for them, but kind of funny for us. But yeah, anyway. So that is the current standings in SFA land. So if you would have told me last year or a year ago where we were a year ago, if you would have told me a year ago that, hey, don't worry, just hold on, it will not be like this a year from now. You're going to be up at the top, neck and neck with McNeese, and the whole vibe and the whole team and everything will be different, and it'll feel like a lumberjack basketball again. I would have said, shut the hell up. You're crazy. Go sit down. Let's be realistic. I'm just going to be honest. Don't tease me with a good time, and God bless. I would have had to eat my words. Because here we are.
I know. Yay. So general notes for the game. Same starting 5. Keon, CC, Cam, Gerald, Latif. We did win 56-46. The attendance was 1,387. One of my cats is tearing up one of my chairs right now. That's great. Sean Kennedy stat section. We had field goal percentage, 34.4%, 3-point percentage, 10%, free throw, 54.5, points in the paint, 34, points off turnovers, 12, second chance points, 16, fast break points, 26 bench points. The score was tied 4 times and the lead changed 3 times. We did have 45 total rebounds, 15 offensive and 30 defensive. We had 18 fouls, 11 turnovers. They had 12 turnovers. We had 9 steals, 4 blocks, and 7 assists. Our game leaders, leading the scoreboard, Keon with 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. We had Ack right behind, 11 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal. We had Gerald with 10 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 3 steals. And Yeti with 9 points, 4 rebounds.
Love this. And this is going to be also easy for me as well. And because I already gave the last game to what the hell?
To Yeti.
To Yeti, I'm going to give this game to our boy Ack. So Mom's going to love that. Ack, great job, my friend. Great job. Great game. So proud of you. 11 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal. Best game from you all season. Here for it. Never change. But also shout out to Yeti for his 9 points and 4 rebounds. The 4 rebounds, Yeti. 9 points, great, but the 4 rebounds, buddy. Love it.
And I'm giving mine to Gerald. He was this close to the double-double, you guys. Really 10 points, 8 rebounds, and something in every stat column, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 3 steals. Love it. He played an amazing game. Something in every column. I think this might be the first game he scored double digits. Almost the double-double. 2 blocks, 3 steals. He got a couple of, or I think 2 maybe slam dunks in there during the game. He was looking great. And the guy that he was having to guard for that he was like matched up with most of the second half was a big dude.
Big dude. Oh, listen, big dude. Yeah.
He was, I know there was a couple of times he was fighting for his life down there in the lane. Like
fighting. Literally, I yelled it. I yelled it. I'm like, Gerald is down there fighting for his life. I need someone to freaking call a foul. Something's going on, but he did fine. He played as well as he could, which was all we could ask for, and it was great. So yeah.
No, he played great. That dude just had a couple of LBs on him, and he was really having to fight to hold his ground and not get pushed around.
Yeah.
So.
Right. And I was just like, oh God. I when I saw the height of the Australian and then the other guy, I don't remember his name, the other guy that played a lot in the first half. I was like, oh no, Gerald's gonna have his night cut out for him tonight. But he played great. That's why I saw he was your play of the game. I was like, I'll let Jacqueline give him the kudos. But yeah, almost a double for him. And listen, Gerald was going through it last on Monday night.
He certainly was.
He was going through it. Yeah, okay. So just in terms of feats of strength for that game, for me, obviously CeCe's disgustingly disrespectful dunk. I was shook.
Yeah.
Is the best way to describe that. I cannot believe what I saw, but at the same time, I don't know why I'm shocked at all because it's CeCe.
Every one of CeCe's dunks has that element to it because it's not that we don't think he can do it. Right. It's just the times that it happens. Don't get my dad started on it, but he'll go on for decades. But like CeCe is one of the most athletic players I've ever seen in my life. And like the things that he can do, it's like, if the situation or the opportunity doesn't arise, you forget how truly athletic he is. And then it's like out of nowhere, like Superman just soaring over and grabbing it and dunking. And like, it's just the best surprise that we could ever wish for.
I agree. Literally, we were just sitting there casually watching, sitting there watching the game. And then was it Teef? I think it was Teef who shot the ball up and it just happened. I was like, did they plan this? Did they yell at each other or just look at each other and have like a specific look and like wink at each other? And that was like the cue that he was going to, I don't know. They must practice this. I don't know. Clearly, because it was the perfect sequence of events. And if you haven't seen that dunk, you need to go back and rewatch. Well, they posted it multiple times, so I don't know how you missed the damn dunk. But anyway, I was just blown away. And if you could see, well, some of you saw the looks on the bench's faces whenever this happened, but like sitting behind them, you get a really good look. And I mean, they were all just flabbergasted. Oh God, it was so great. I mean, that was wonderful. Just what a good way to like pump up the team and really just inject some energy and juice into not only guys on the court, but the guys on the bench too. So love to see it. The whole place erupted and yeah, love a good dunk like that, man. Other things for me, obviously being physically back at the game was great, or being back watching the game in person is nice. I wore my Coach Keller reject warm-up from, I forget what year it was, but it was one of their warm-ups from moons ago. And so I wore that last night, since we usually wear white at home. So I figured, why not? Other things. Obviously Jacqueline got there in time for the tunnel, which was nice.
I was very happy for that. I was like, I'm going to run down there. I'm going to make it however I have to make it.
You did. You made it. Gary Miller was back on the court, which was nice. He hadn't been there in many, many moons as well. So that was nice to see.
First game this season.
Right.
First game this season's been at. So we were happy to see him back.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to give him a bag of dum-dums next time because we didn't see him with his halftime sucker. I don't know.
He didn't have any suckers. I don't know what the heck is going. Anyway, maybe that was a last season thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Just all in all, great game. I think I say great game with a very much a grain of salt because I know we're about to go through a couple things in our grievances. To me, anytime we win, yeah, it's a happy win. I'm not mad about it at all. I'll take it. Even if it's an ugly win, a win is a win. And I even kind of said that to Coach, and I'm sure he probably like grunted and I don't know. But anyway, I was just like, hey, got the dub. It was not pretty, but we got it. And he was just like, ha. Sorry.
I mean, he already knew he was a little spiced up.
He was spice level. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I forgot to give spice levels the other night. I don't, Jacqueline can tell me what the spice level was for Saturday, but last night was definitely ghost pepper. I don't know what happened there in the second half, but he was on a tear. And so ghost pepper night for sure. Yeah.
No, Saturday was pretty mild. There wasn't really anything to get amped up about.
It was a very ordinary, non-spicy game. So, yeah, that's probably going to be a green pepper for us. But last night in second half specifically, ghost pepper, things were a little spicy. So, but yeah, we got through some adversity and some hurdles and came up with a 10-point win. We covered. So, yeah.
Covered the spread, barely.
Yeah, barely, but we got it. Yeah. I mean, do you have any other positives?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, then we will move on to this.
Newcomers. The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it. You.
Okay. So,
all of our shooting percentages were not great.
Poo-poo.
Not great at all.
Poo-poo.
I'll say it. 34 from the field, only 10 from the 54 from the free throw line. Yeah, we were 2 of 20 from the 3-point line. Not good.
Not good. Well, and that's why I was like, it was a good game. Was it pretty? No. Was I glad we won by 10? Absolutely. But it was not a pretty shooting game at all. Thank God defense really came in and did a lot of the hard work and heavy lifting. But I mean, yikes.
You know what? I did forget one tiny feat of strength. Sorry. And I should have said this earlier. I will say we did look better breaking the press than we have the last few games. Because during our Louisiana road trip stretch, I mean, there was one game I'm not even trying to, I know they can do better than this, but like they looked like that was the first time they were playing against a press. And this game we did a whole lot better. So I was happy with that. So there's a little feat of strength I forgot. But the shooting was absolutely our worst shooting performance of the season this game, like all the way around on all three aspects.
Agreed.
And this is why we say live by the three, die by the three, because unfortunately some games it's not going to be on, and that's fine, and we have to accept that. But I just hope next time that it's this bad we don't take 18 misses before we realize we need to not shoot it.
I mean, as much as I want to love on Ack or on or just any of the guys who normally are shooting threes. I mean, there's a point where you just have to be like, okay, they're not falling for me, so I got to try something else. And I'm just like, anytime we were behind the arc and tried to shoot a three on Monday night, I was like, something was up, like just wasn't there. I mean, other than Ritz like 2 in a row, which I was gunning for 3 in a row. I think we all were, but I mean, it just really, really, truly we just didn't have the long ball on Monday night. So we really, really had to dig in under the basket and the short range jumpers. And that was kind of just where we needed to just stay, because that's where things were falling. And so even though we were going against like 2 really tall centers, I mean, they were tall and they were a little beefy, but still was able to get around them and make something happen. And so all I have to say is both those centers, they were decent. So if you need a new home next season, you know where to come. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. And that's another reason why I'm going to sing Gerald's praises for this game even more, because, I mean, our threes weren't falling, and their post players were tough. And this is the game that Gerald 10. I mean,
correct.
That's awesome. I will say I guess this could be complimentary to both our guys and their guys. But, I think UIW was a little like hyped up because who they beat, Nichols or McNeese or someone?
They did beat, I think pretty sure they beat McNeese, yeah.
Yeah, they beat McNeese at home. And, normally they're just not tough for us at all, usually, as from the previous matchup history I read. But I'm going to say they had some good players. That number 8 is great. Their post players were big and strong and tough. And they really turned up the heat on us on defense. So, we did look terrible this game compared to our usual amazing quality of play. But they were also tough, and they were no slouches. So I'll give them credit where credit's due.
Agreed. And you know what? I do appreciate the quality of competition that they're bringing. And, it just makes us better in the long run. And it makes us, because of that McNeese game and how insane their press was. And for some reason, we just could not get out of it. I truly think that was probably a very important foundational aspect that was covered in practice leading up to the rest of these games and for the rest of the season. Because they're like, okay, obviously now the other teams have probably scouted us and seen that we cannot get out of the press to save our life. So maybe we should work on that. So, and as you could see from Monday night's game, when they were pressing, we figured it out pretty quickly.
Sure.
Agreed. But yeah, there were just a few small things, some weird calls on both sides of the ball. Again, I could care less if you're calling calls as long as it's consistent on both sides. And that was just a few things. We would get, travel calls, or we would get this call, and it's just there were multiple flaps on UIW side, no call whatsoever on that. That was irritating. And then, just the typical stuff from the refs when it comes to just consistency. All a girl wants is consistency. That's all I want. Just if you're going to call it on one side of the ball, call it on the other side of the ball. That's all I want. If we commit a foul, we commit a foul. That's fair. But make sure if the other team commits it, that you're calling it too. That's anyway. That's all I'll say there. I mean, that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, our shooting was so
our shooting. Bad. That was the biggest one. Was our shooting was just poopy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, not saying anything that isn't already probably known. Right. Yeah. Especially to them. But yeah, okay. So in terms of describing this game, one word, I'm just gonna say dunk. That dunk. I just can't. That I mean, after the game, I didn't smack him, but I was just like, and that dunk CC, Jesus, disrespectful. So he knows how I feel about it.
I'm gonna say for my word, I'm gonna say cover, just because any of y'all who know me, I don't know the first thing about betting on sports. Like, I really don't. As much as I know about sports, there's just too many numbers and it confuses me. But one of my good friends was in Reno for a conference, and so he texts, and he knows basketball as well as I do. He texted me and was like, "Do you think SFA is going to cover the spread tonight? Because I want to place a bet." And like, I've already looked at, both of the schedules of who they beat, and I think they will, but I want to ask the expert. And I was like, "Oh, we're gonna easy cover the spread. Like, I'm not even worried about it." And then during the game, like the first half, I'm like, "We got this." And then the second half, I'm like, "If they don't cover the spread," and I look like a dummy. Like, yeah, we're easy gonna cover it.
I know. Like, well, and you can never truly predict it. You know what I mean? Like, you never can truly predict it. But literally the whole game, I was like, "Jacqueline, I don't know. That cover's looking pretty dicey. I don't know." And then obviously we won by 10, so it was good. But yeah. Like, here's the thing: if you text us and ask us our opinion on covering the spread, we're gonna give you the best possible answer, but do not come after the messenger if it doesn't go your way.
That's the thing, is like, I really was not even concerned about it, and then I'm like irritated that we were even that close, because I didn't think we should have been. But anywho, we did cover. So covered.
I love it. Okay, so looking forward for the next game. The next game is actually going to be on, what date is that? Monday the 19th, which is in Thibodaux, Louisiana, playing Nichols. So big game. If you're anywhere near Thibodaux or Louisiana or whatever, try to go to the game. Try to support the Jacks if you can. I'm off work that day. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Let's look the next game. They play this weekend in New Orleans.
Where the hell is that at? Oh, I don't know why. For some reason, that game, it does not want to show up on my calendar.
Oh.
Okay. So I'm so sorry. Yeah, on Saturday, I knew there was something I was missing. Saturday, they play in NOLA. I was contemplating trying to make that game, and it's just not going to happen. Here's my thing. I would need a lot more money that I have in my bank account right now to make a NOLA trip even worthwhile. I'm just going to throw that out there. Same. There's just no point in me going with like $10 in my account. I'm like, I am crawling to payday at this point. There's been so many things happening over the past like month that I've been just trying to stretch out my paycheck, and it's just not going well for me. But yeah, so we got NOLA on Saturday, and then on Monday we have Nichols, and then on let's see here, on Saturday the 24th, Beaumont at Lamar in Beaumont. So 3 games on the road. If you're going to be anywhere near any of those games or those locations, please try to make it out to the game. And that's it. That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. Love it. All right, quick, easy, under an hour, got her done. Love to see it. Hope everybody has a wonderful night. You enjoy it. It's going to be another cool, crisp evening in East Texas. So I'm excited. I'm about to run to the brewery and have a beverage. Lord knows I need it. But I hope you guys have a wonderful night and you've enjoyed our little Wednesday evening basketball chit chat. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. And as always, Axe 'em Jacks.
With Alex and Jax.